All right, go ahead.
Okay. This is a unique chart type that we made. Probably many of you probably don't know who Mark Fisher is, but he has a clearing firm, and he was a member of the exchanges in New York, still is.
Hall of Fame oil trader, guys.
Yeah, oil, mostly the oils, the energies, but he belonged to all the exchanges in New York. So anyway, he has a book called The Logical Trader. It's an opening range breakout system. So time is very important to him, because if I were to put the lines on here, you have to get above a certain level and stay there for at least half the time of the opening range. So it's a half an hour opening range. You got to be above it for 15 minutes before it becomes a legitimate confirmed trade. But he loved the smoothing of a Renko. And on the Renko, basically this is set at 12 ticks, which means that if you take a look at this red bar at the bottom, can they see where I'm putting? No, probably not. On one of these,
I can give you control of the mouse.
Well, that'll probably be easier, because then I can point to something.
Hold on. Okay, there you go.
Thank you. So up here, and I can actually go over here and go to another one and just put up a Renko real quick to show you what it looks like, in case there are people not familiar with it. See, this is a normal Renko, and every brick represents, in this case, 10 ticks. So if you go up 10 ticks from the high of the previous brick, then you get a green brick. If you go 10 ticks below the low, you get a red brick. So it's a smoothing. And you can see we put up on ours, we put up the wick, so you can see where the market actually went to. It almost went up far enough to qualify, and then it came back. And so this is what the Renko would look like. It's an untimed chart type, because it's all based on market movement. So there's no time involved. Because Mark liked the time, what we did was we put on a time chart and then laid the Renko on top of it. Now I have this set for 2 minutes, only so that it's it's fast enough that I can actually see the Renko bricks build. If you put too high a time, you could have two or three bricks within, say, a 5-minute or 10-minute chart, whatever you're looking at. So I just use 2 so I can get it. So now you're getting the time chart, but on top of it, you're getting the Renko bars. You also have the cloud. So again, if you were to have sold when you broke out of the cloud, the Renko bars would have kept you short, and here you would have had a reversal. And even before that, you'll notice that you had a large wick on the top, and on here you had a wick to the bottom. Not enough to make a new bar on the bottom, but it gives you an idea when the market's failing. Normally at the bottom you would have something like this, where you came in with the sellers in command, and at the end of just 2 minutes it was clear that the sellers were losing control, and then here of course the buyers took control, and then you got the green bar. Now you have the beginning of another green bar, but you're approaching the cloud. So again, I don't think anybody has this chart type other than us. And for people that are day trading, you might find it useful. It does have volume data at the end. I usually shrink it down completely. This is just another study, since it's up here. There are actually 5 trades that are involved in the cloud. And I just add them all, net them up, and when you see a red bar, that means all 5 are short. And if you see a green bar, then all 5 are green. Let me just make this a little bit the way I do it. We must have, when we did it last night, I guess we didn't. I'm just making it thicker and hit the default and go like this. And it, just real quickly, the 5 trades, one is below the cloud. We all know that one. The second one is, this is Imuku 1. They do have Japanese names, is below. So the purple is below the green. That's 2. The market is below the green. The green is called equilibrium in Japanese. And this is below the equilibrium. That's 3. The fourth one is whether or not the lagger is above or below the current market activity. And the fifth one is what is the cloud, which is 26 bars forward, that you don't normally see, but it's there. So we take those 5 and add them up, net them plus or minus, and this tells you when all of the 5 are positive or negative. So they're tools. This just happens to be unique. That's why Judd thought it might be a good opportunity to just show it, because it's a unique chart type. It doesn't come with your system, but there, if you have CQG, you can request that it be enabled on your system as a basic chart study. There's no additional charge for this. As a chart type, there isn't. So I think that's probably it, unless somebody has a question.
Beautiful. Langer liked it. Sean likes it. Penn's asking if said it reminds her of an ATR with a
Trailing stop.
the trailing stop.
You know, because unfortunately for people like Sean and me, we have, I don't have Ninja. I should get Ninja, and that'll solve the problem. We don't have Renko. So the closest thing is Heikin-Ashi.
Yeah, and by the way, you see the coloring on these bars?
Yes.
These are 2-minute bars, but the coloring is Heikin-Ashi coloring.
Okay.
Because I guess it's just the fact that I'm an old guy that, I love the Heikin-Ashi, but the fact that the close is the high-low close divided by 3, it's an algorithm.
Yeah.
I felt a little bit, but I felt I could get the smoothing information because we wrote these before we had Heikin-Ashi, and then I just put those on a bar chart. So I get the advantage of Heikin-Ashi smoothing as well, but I'm looking at a bar chart.
Yeah. Can I ask you something? So then can I use the Heikin-Ashi since I don't have Renko?
Well, it's going to be different. You're not going to be able to get, this only works on a bar chart. That's why, again, I had to add the Heikin-Ashi on it. But Heikin-Ashi will give you smoothing, absolutely. We can go back up to the second one here.
And those are all candles, right? Yeah.
Well, you can make them anything you want. This is the Heikin-Ashi candles. And again, the coloring is the same as the bar on the other one. And of course, we can then put up the Imuku on here. And then we could also add the Imuku study that I was just showing you on the other one. And again, now here this is what do we have this up on EP. This is a daily, so because Heikin-Ashi's timed. So we could go to I don't care, 5-minute chart, whatever you want. And again, you got a nice trade here. And the Heikin-Ashi kept it green for every place except where you had a mid-course correction. Then you had another slight correction. And then once it turned red, first of all, you saw, this thing stopped, once this thing turned over here. These are moving averages, so if it goes up quickly, it could lag. But the Heikin-Ashi picked it up right away. And,
okay, great. Thanks, Dan. Appreciate it.
Okay, that's good for me. If anybody has any other questions, otherwise, it's all yours, Judd.
Okay.
You're all welcome.
So Jeff, it's meant for short-term trading.
Dan?
Yes.
would you put any kind of a VWAP on there at all? Or that just makes it too complicated?
No, you can put a VWAP on, and we have both our standard VWAP and we have a customized one that, at least for the integrated client, we can bring
All
in
right,
the
just
formula.
asking.
Yeah, no, that's fine. And when you put on the VWAP, though, you have to decide, because you guys like the pit session, you just want to make sure that when you put the VWAP on, that you set it for session and not beginning of, see, this is start of day, but if you go here, it'll start at 9:30. It'll recalculate as of 9:30, and you have your VWAP. You just want to change the color, you know, so you can see it versus all the other lines. But what I do on these, by the way, is I just go in here, and I when you have this many, you can go into display, and you can oh, here. That's a histogram. Never mind. That only has a line in a histogram. But you can change the color to something that you don't have, that, you know, shows up. You can also make it. You can also make it. If you're looking at the VWAP in particular, I'm going to 2 just to show you, and now it sticks out. And then you can go to another color that. Let's go to the light purple because I don't use that. There you go. And now you can see where the VWAP is.
Cool.
Goes up and coming down. And that's start of session. If you happen to have integrated client, which is our the one that Judd has, we have one where you can actually specify exactly what time and day you you want it to start. Or what time of the day you can customize. It's been customized down to being more refined on when you want to start your VWAP. We also have them where we have VWAP bands, where we can do bands off of the VWAP, which start calculating the standard deviation. In this case, since 9:30, the beginning of the session, it will calculate. This 2 standard deviations, almost like a Bollinger Band, but based on the VWAP. But these things have all been customized and written by different product specialists at CPG. So,
Wonderful. Thank you.
Sure.
All right, guys, anybody else?
That is super stuff, Stan.
Thank you.
Really, really awesome.
Thank you very much.
All right, I'm going to shrink this back up. So you guys like that look, or do you like the Mark Fisher look? Whatever you guys want, I'll leave there. Well, we can leave that there for a while. You guys can take a look at it and say how you like it.
With the Mark Fisher one, you do have to open it up. Whereas if you look at the, you know, if you're looking at the Heikin-Ashi, you know, you're seeing whatever picture you're getting now. You need to open up the Mark Fisher, and then you can minimize it back when you're done, just to get the effect of the Renko. It also, there's, as you use it, there's also added information in how long did it stay within, in this case, a 10 tick range. Actually 20, because it's 10 tick for the box and 10 tick to make a new box. So within a 20 tick range, how long did it take to fill that up?
All right,
It
so,
also identifies sideways areas.
so Stan, let's go back to that other chart. Where
It's right here. It's right here. Wait a minute, hold on. Yeah, click right there. Click on the first one.
There it is. Okay, everybody seems to like that look. So
See,
we'll leave both
here at the bottom, you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 minutes, 8 times 2, so it's 16 minutes, and it didn't get out of this box. So that also identifies sideways areas as well, especially if you're playing breakout.
And you can see this 3210 that it's trying to break down under right now. you can see it on the hourly averages here. And it's just more pronounced on the shorter time frame chart.
Show them the wick on that red right above it. Can you see?
Yeah, that one.
Yes.
When it went up to 17.5 and there was nothing there, it was a bit wick.
That shows you a failure of a probe. That's why we always make sure it's a choice, doesn't come with it, but I always turn on the wick for that reason.
Beauty. Gotta like that.
So
All
John,
right.
can you try it on Amazon?
Yeah, hang on 1 second.
That is going to be, because it's trading so tough.
Not, well,
Open it up. It may be that we have to change the size of the Renko because I don't see any Renko bars on it.
hold on a second, Stan. Let me give you the control back. What do you think we have to do to this to get it to?
I was going to do it on mine first. We can go in here and just try. Let me see, brick size. Oh wait a minute. Let me go back here. Brick size is 12. Let's just try 50 and see what happens.
It doesn't want to quite give it to you.
No, I'll have to look on my machine with equities and I'll let you know.
Okay. All right. So we know it works for futures, guys. So
Thanks. No problem. I was just curious.
okay. So what? All right. So this has to be changed back to 12, right? How do I change this back to 12?
Just right click on the box and just put whatever you want in there. See, I like 12 because for the EP and stuff like that, you know, that's 3 handles.
Okay.
I like to make it in multiples of 4, 8, 12, depending how broad you want it.
Good stuff. All right, thanks, Stan. Well, that's Stan's Corner brought to you by CQG. Gotta love it. It's great stuff. That's why I use CQG, because it's got the best charting platform in the industry.